Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello everyone and welcome to your English class. In our lesson today, we'll continue with our fourth unit. Our lesson today is the reading lesson in your books, page 54 and 55. All you need for the lesson today is your books, page 54 and 55, a sheet of paper and a pen to take down your notes. So let's get started. You had a homework from the conversation lesson, which is to form a conversation between Khalid or Faisal and the telemarketer. We have spoken about Khalid and Faisal's experience with someone who called them a telemarketer. Choose Khalid or Faisal and form a conversation based on the conversation or the speech that they have told each other. I have chosen one of them. Good afternoon, Mr. Khalid. I am Kevin from a travel agency. How are you? He replied, fine, thank you. I am calling to tell you that you won a free trip to the Bahamas. Really? How can I get it? Of course, but you first have to join the Jet Set Club. Okay, and how is that? Just pay 3,000 Saudi riyals for the membership. That is ridiculous. I am not interested. So in here, he won. The telemarketer told him that he won a trip to the Bahamas, and that was the imaginary conversation based on what he had reported to his friend Faisal. You can come up with another conversation which is for Faisal. Okay, let's get started with our lesson. For the reading lesson in your books, page 54 and 55, by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to read quotes, you will be able to answer questions on the text, recognize some new vocabulary, and report some quotes. So it's going to be a reading lesson, short readings, short texts, which are quotes. Let's get started in here. Let's look at this picture. This picture shows us, in here, we're having a book. Do you like reading? And what do you like about reading? Actually, when you are reading, you are getting other people's experiences. How about the texts that are written? They are actually whether the writer's words or the writer is going to come up with other people's words. They will come up with quotes from other people. So you are going to get information from all over the world, which is saved within this book. Okay. In your books, page 54 and 55, scan through the text and answer the following question. What is the title for the text? The text is titled Quotes, Quotes. But let's stop in here. What do we mean by the word quote? Quote means it is words from a text or speech that is written or spoken by another person. Usually when I'm saying this is a quote, it means that it is not my own words. I'm giving the privilege or the right to someone who had said it. It's not my own words. I'm reporting someone else. Someone else had said that. Okay? When I am quoting, I am giving them the privilege or the right. How many quotes are there do we have? Page 54 and 55. We're having, count them, more than 10. We're having actually 13 quotes by famous people. And what do the pictures show? We're only having one picture, which is picture for whom? For King Salman, the custodian of the two holy mosques. Okay, let's get started with these 13 quotes. Do you know any famous quotes? I believe that everyone knows, whether they are in Arabic or in English or in any other language. There is a quote that we all know about, which is, I have remembered this one, which is, the Saudi strength is like that of the Tuwaiq mountain, unbreakable, unless this mountain is leveled and equaled to the ground. Is it my own words? Not really. Notice that we're having the quotation marks. I'm telling you that this is a good quote. This is a wise one. However, it wasn't said by me. Do you know who said that? He is Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Years ago, he said that. He said, his words, that the Saudi strength is like that of the Tuwaiq mountain, unbreakable, unless this mountain is leveled and equaled to the ground. Okay, let's go to our quotes in here. For all the 13 quotes, you are supposed to do two things. You will listen while you are reading the quote, then you will come up with the name of the one who said that quote, and come up with the general idea. What is it about? Was it a funny quote? Was it an ironic quote? Was it a wise one? What does it talk about? About people, learning, travel? What is it about? Let's check the first one in here, and you will tell who said that quote and what is it about. Let's listen.
My primary goal is to be an exemplary and leading nation in all aspects, and I will work with you in achieving this endeavor. King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, custodian of the two holy mosques.
So, who said that quote? It was said by whom? It was said by King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, the custodian of the two holy mosques. Custodian is the servant. What did he say? He's saying here that my main goal, my first goal is to be an exemplary, from the word example, an example for the word, and leading nation. I want my country to be an example and leading, in the lead, at the first position in all aspects, education, economy, and every aspect. And I will work with you in achieving this endeavor. This our biggest goal that we are working towards it. So what is the main idea of this quote? Is it about the people? It is actually about here leading Saudi Arabia to be the best nation. So King Salman said that about how to lead Saudi Arabia to be the best nation. How about the following? Here, listen and tell who said that quote and what is the quote about.
640K ought to be enough for anybody. Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, in 1981, talking about computer memory.
So, who said that quote or these words? They were said by Bill Gates. Who's Bill Gates? He is the founder of Microsoft. He said that in 1981 when he was talking about computer memory. What did he say? He actually said that 640K, 640, let's say 1,000, ought to be enough for anybody. Do you think so? Do you agree with him? I believe that was true in 1981. However, for us today, teras are not enough for us. So the main idea was about, actually, the computer memory. When we're looking at the whole thing, we can say that this one is an example for an irony. What is an irony? When you're looking at it, you will say the saying is suitable for 1981. However, this will never work on our days. So the irony is a later outcome was very different from what the speaker expected. In 1981, he thought or expected that we're having here 640K will be enough for everyone. However, he was wrong and his prediction didn't come true. Okay, the following. Who said that and what is the quote about?
Half the world is composed of people who have something to say and can't, and the other half who have nothing to say and keep on saying it. Robert Frost, American poet.
So, who said that? Who said that quote? He was actually Robert Frost, an American poet, who he will come up with poems. What is he saying? He's saying that people are of two kinds. Some people, the word is consists of two kinds of people. Some people who have something to say, but they can't. Maybe they are not allowed to speak. They have something that they should say it, but they can't. And the other group of people, or the other half, have nothing to say, but they are speaking. So we're having two groups of people. Some of them can't speak, and the others, they will speak with nonsense. They will speak, but they have nothing to say. What is the main idea of this quote? Is about what people usually say. Some people will say nonsense, other people will say good things. Do you think it's a wise one? I guess yes. How about the following, a short one? Who said that, and what is the quote about? Let's listen.
It is a terrible thing to see and have no vision. Helen Keller, American author, activist, and lecturer. She was the first deaf and blind person to graduate from college.
So who said that? She was actually Helen Keller. She's an American author, activist, lecturer. And she did all of these things, but the most important part about her, that she was the first deaf and blind. She couldn't see as well as she couldn't hear. So blind and deaf, both of them. And although she was blind and deaf, she finished and she graduated from college. She became an author, activist, and a lecturer. So she's an icon. So what is the quote about? It is a terrible thing to see and have no vision. Seeing and having a vision. So she's comparing a sight with vision. Sight is the ability to see. I can see you and you can see me. The ability to see. You were not blind. How about the idea of vision? What do we mean by vision? When you're having a vision, you're having creativity, insight. You're having or understanding. It's not only about what you can see, what you can come up with. You're having a vision, you're having a goal. You are a creative person. So you have to differentiate between vision and sight, what you can see and what you can imagine. Let's continue. Who said that quote and what is it about?
Who is wise? He that learns from everyone. Who is powerful? He that governs his passions. Who is rich? He that is content. Who is that? Nobody. Benjamin Franklin, American writer, politician, scientist, and inventor.
So, who said that quote? Who said these words? He was actually Benjamin Franklin. He's an American writer, politician, scientist, and inventor. After all his life experience, he came up with this quote. He's asking a question. Who is a wise person? Someone who's having a vision. He is someone who can learn from everywhere. Not only from formal education, he can learn from books, from other people. And who is a powerful person, the strong person, who can govern his passion, his feelings. You can control your feelings. And who is a rich person, who's having the money? No, who is content, who is satisfied with what he got. And who is that? The person who is wise, powerful, and rich. No one is having them all. So the saying is actually about wisdom, powerful, and wealth. The person who's wise, powerful, and a rich person. Okay. How about the following? Who said that, and what is the quote about?
Never let formal education get in the way of your learning. Mark Twain, writer.
Okay, so who said that quote? This quote was said actually by Mark Twain, who is a writer. A writer said, never let formal education get in the way of your learning. So the general idea is actually about learning. What is the difference between when we're saying formal education and learning? Aren't they just like each other? Are they like each other? We usually confuse them. Formal education is the compulsory education that everyone will get when you go to school. When you go to school, everyone is going to get the same information, the same ideas. However, is that enough? No. Learning is the idea of getting information by experience, when you travel, when you read books. So the idea of learning doesn't depend only on formal education. It's not only for just going to school. Going to school is one form of learning. However, learning can come up from variety or many ways. Okay. The following, who said that and what is the quote about? Let's listen.
How could anyone govern a nation that has 246 different kinds of cheese? Charles de Gaulle, French president.
Who said that quote? He was actually Charles de Gaulle, a French president. President, he is the one who will govern a country, which is France. What is he saying? The quote is about actually governing France. What is he saying? It's not an easy work to govern, to rule, let's say, a nation or a country that has 246 different kinds of cheese. How does it come? What is the meaning of cheese in here? Cheese will be a symbol for different people. We have the diversity, people who are different, plus they are having high quality of taste. They can taste everything because they're having hundreds types of or kinds of cheese. So these people are different. What do you think about this one? Do you think that it is a wise one? I think that one is humorous. When something is humorous, it means that it's funny. He wasn't saying it as being a serious person. He was saying it as if it were a joke. He wanted to be funny. So not ironic. This time it is a joke. He wanted to come up with a sense of humor. Laugh. Let's continue. Who said that and what is the quote about? Let's listen.
An archaeologist is the best husband a woman can have. The older she gets, the more interested he is in her. Agatha Christie, writer.
Okay, who said that quote or these words? She was actually Agatha Christie. She is a writer. She writes novels. She is a lady. What is she talking about? She said, an archaeologist is the best husband a woman can have. The older she gets, the more interested he is in her. It is actually about the best husband a lady can have. Who is the best husband a lady can have? She said that he is actually an archaeologist. Who is an archaeologist? Let's try to analyze the word. Whenever a word ends with an IST, it means someone. Okay? And whenever a word that starts with arch, it means old, ancient. And when having ology, it means it is a science. So, old, science, and someone. He is someone who will study the ruins, the ancient places. He's looking and digging into places that are old and ancient. He will look for ruins, or let's say for old things in these places. Let's apply archaeologist. How is he going to be the best husband? The older she gets, the more interested he is in her. When she is older, he will be more interested. He would like her more because she's old, like ruins. What is the main reason for saying that? It is humor. I don't think that she is serious about it. It is humor for fun purposes. Let's continue. Here, who said that quote and what is it about? Let's listen.
Wise men talk because they have something to say. Fools talk because they have to say something.
So, in here, who said that? He was actually Plato, the Greek philosopher, someone who's very old, Greek philosopher. What did he say? The main idea is about wise versus fool people. Wise people and those who are the not wise people. He's saying that wise people talk because they have something to say. So they are not going to talk unless they have something to say. It's not for the purpose of talking. However, the fool people are going to say just to say. They will speak just to talk. They want to talk regardless of what they are going to say. The following, who said that and what is the quote about? Let's listen.
Make yourself necessary to somebody. Ralph Waldo Emerson, American writer.
So who said that? He was actually Ralph Waldo Emerson, an American writer. He is a writer. What did he say? He's giving here make. Start with a verb. Do. It's an advice or let's say an instruction. So he's speaking about self-worth. Always make yourself necessary to the others. If you feel like you are not welcome, just leave them alone. The following, who said that and what is the quote about?
I'm not afraid to die. I just don't want to be there when it happens.
Okay, so who said that quote? He was actually Woody Allen, an American director. What was he speaking about? The main idea is about death, whether he is afraid of death or not. What is he saying? I am not afraid to die. I don't mind dying. However, when I die, I don't want to be present. I don't want to be there. It's okay to die, but not to be there. What do you think about it? This one is actually a humorous one. No one can die without being there. You have to be present. You have to be there. How about this one? Who said that and what is the quote about?
Everything that can be invented has been invented. Attributed to Charles H. Dewey, Commissioner, U.S. Office of Patents, 1899.
So who said that? It's been said by Charles H. Dewey. Who is he? He is a commissioner of the U.S. Office of Patent in 1899. What is he speaking about? The general idea is about inventions. What is his belief towards inventions? He said that everything that could be invented, I have seen all inventions. No one can come up with no inventions. Do you agree with him? After 1899, we're having many inventions. Many people came up with no inventions. So it was actually an irony. He said that at his own time it was right. However, if it were a prediction, it didn't come true. The last one in here, let's listen.
Those who do not complain are never pitied. Jane Austen, writer.
Who said that quote? She's a lady actually. She was Jane Austen. What did she do? She was a writer. What did she say? She's speaking about what? About sympathy. What is the idea of sympathy? If you don't complain to other people, if you don't tell people how you feel, they will not feel sorry for you. So the idea of pitied is be like, I pity that, I feel sorry. So those people who will not tell about how they feel, how they feel, the other people will react to them. They will not feel sorry for them. They will not pity them. Okay, in your book's page 55, let's answer the true or false. Robert Frost said that half the people in the world don't say what they want to say. This was his quote or his saying. Do you agree? No. He said half the world is composed of people who have something to say but they can't, and the other was people who have nothing but they kept saying it. 2. Bill Gates believed that more than 640K memory was unnecessary. So what did he say? 640k ought to be enough for anybody. Yes, he said it is enough. Jane Austen thought that people had no sympathy for those who complain. Those who do not complain are never pitied. False. Okay. Number 4. Mark Twain said that people shouldn't let formal education stop them from learning. Never let formal education get in the way of your learning. So yes, there are other forms of learning. De Gaulle thought that it was easy to govern France because people wanted the same thing. They have 246 different kind of cheese, different taste, different ideas, so it is false. It wasn't easy because they wanted different things. Helen Keller said that having no insight or understanding was worse than being blind. It's a terrible thing to see and have no vision. So yes, it is true. Being blind is not a problem. Having no vision is a problem. Let's report some of these sayings. Emerson about people. He said, make yourself necessary to somebody. Emerson said, to make yourself necessary for somebody. Plato, wise people talk because they have something to say, but fools talk because they have to say something. He said about fools. Plato said that fools talked because they had to say something. Woody Allen, I'm not afraid to die, I just don't want to be there when it happens. Woody Allen said he was not afraid to die. Here, he wasn't afraid to die, but that he didn't want to be there when he died, when it happened. Charles Duell about inventions. Everything that can be invented has been invented. Charles Duell said in 1899 that everything that could be invented had been invented. Okay, in your books, page 55, the discussion part, which quote or quotes do you like the best and why? We're having 13 quotes. Choose one of them and you will find this one is very interesting. I like it the most. Why? Maybe you can think about don't let formal education avoid you or take you away from learning, because it compares between the group and the part. Which quote do you find the most humorous and explain why? Which one is the funniest? Find one of them, maybe the idea which was speaking about, I don't want to be there when I die. What famous quotes do you know? Who said them and what do they mean? Think about a quote and find who said it, what does it mean, and you will come up with the homework, which is come up with a quote, who said that quote, then report it. King Salman said that, then you will come up with the quote. Whoever the speaker or the one who said the quote, just report it. Okay, I guess that is for the lesson today, and thank you so much for your time.